if you want to tune in to Eric versus Cham, I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you at all. It is currently being covered by Gustavo. Shout out to Gustavo, the Brazilian, the Portuguese caster for the day. He is covering that series over on his channel. But spawning in the bottom left of 2000 atmospheres on the CranKy Ducklings channel in English, we have the Canadian Protoss representing Alpha X. It is TriGGeR. And spawning in the top right, we have our very first American player here on the CranKy Ducklings today. Representing Genesis Gaming, GG. It is Kazmir. Well, yo, what's with all the pool first openings? Oh my god. The 16 pools. We're seeing it all day today. But interesting name, Kazmir. It sounds very like Warcraft, like Kazmodan or Kaz Thor. I don't know. Just it has like a fantasy feeling to it. And oh my god, Kazmir, just like adding his own spin to things. Instead of going for a pool hatch, he's going for a pool gas opening. We'll eventually get this hatchery, but yeah, much more aggressive here. So what I mean by much more aggressive, obviously he has the early gas, which means he can get faster link speed if he wanted to. He could do something crazy, skip link speed, and go for a much faster Roach Warren as well. And TriGGeR is well aware of that. He's sticking around. He wants to make sure he sees what's coming out of these bases as the probe is patrolling as best he can. The first 6 links are now on the way. Bearing in mind, this is a commitment into 6 links, unlike Chorocarlo just making 2 to just kind of psych him out. And there it is. This is what we suspected. It is a Roach Warren. And unfortunately, TriGGeR didn't see this. But he can assume this. Again, like, yo, if we can make that deduction, TriGGeR can make that deduction. It's a possibility of what could be coming out. And TriGGeR did scout the gas. So he knows what the opener is. He knows what the possibilities are. So far, he has responded well. He's walling off. He's got a zealot on the ramp at the wall. So he's perfectly safe. I love this adept as well. The goal of this adept: go across the map, shade in, and scout what the hell is going on. Oh, shield battery as well. I love it. So again, TriGGeR not cutting any corners here as he's trying to bust himself out. 1 ling already falls. The second, up, second ling, third, fourth. Ooh, but the zealot will fall and 1 ling will be able to slip through. Is this a big deal? Not really. The biggest deal is that this adept has to stay here at home. It cannot go across the map because otherwise there will be no wall. Especially because Warp Gate was delayed. Warp Gate was delayed for a faster Stargate. So because of that, gateway units are not going to be a thing for a while, and the roaches are coming across the map. The problem is that a Void Ray shoots down and roaches don't shoot up, and the first Void Ray is here. Uh-oh. First bow does connect with the shield battery. The shield battery is being focused down and it will fall. Yes it will, just barely. It does fall, but the Void Ray is putting in a lot of work. A secondary wall has been thrown down. Boys have been pulled off the line and the roaches are getting focused down one by one. Oh my god, Kazmir, he's trying to break through as best he can, and the pylon will go down, but there's still another wall behind it. The walls just don't stop here for TriGGeR, and the Ravager will eventually go down. We do have Lings flooding in, and it takes a long time for Void Rays to focus down all these Lings. But they, oh my god, the wall's on the wall. Oh my god, he just realized that he's just going in. TriGGeR, please. A little bit of misplacement there with the buildings, and now the boys are forced off the line. The problem is that these are just lings, like these aren't roaches, so these lings can't deal too much damage. I love it though, he's focusing down the pylons. Depowering this is honestly pretty huge, but now instead he's going into the mineral line. which I don't think is the right call. As we can see, with good enough probe micro, the Zealots just fall, sorry, the Lings just fall, and GG gets called. TriGGeR takes the first game. TriGGeR just reading the situation, going for the Void Ray first was really all that he needed. It was a little bit closer than it should have been, because TriGGeR did mess up that wall, and it wasn't a full wall off. Feels bad, man. I love how Kazmir even thought it was a full wall. He was like busy there, like attacking, when he could have just ran through whenever he wanted. I thought it was a full wall as well, to be fair. But yeah, like TriGGeR's misstep there made it a little bit closer, when really, like, he really had it under control. Kazmir also going into the mineral line when there's like 1.5 worth of like probes there, like what, like those like 30 probes or something along those lines, maybe less than that. But again, a lot of probes, mate, you just pull the boys and fight the Lings, and that's exactly what TriGGeR did. Was rough. But shout out to Kazmir for whipping out an all-in here. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you need to do if you want to take out a player like TriGGeR. I don't think going to the late game is the wisest choice. War of 1812. There you go. Oh god. It's Gonzo in the chat with the history lesson. Thank you so much. Know next to nothing about American history, because I'm not from America, as you can imagine, or North America. I have a sub. Like, mira, estoy suscrito. Gracias, Neo Shaggy. Gracias. I mean, you didn't sub yourself. It was a gifted sub. But thank you anyway. Meanwhile, here we go. Game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Canadian Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is TriGGeR. And spawning. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the American Zerg player representing Genesis Gaming. Oh my god. Threatening his opponent. It is Kazmir. Yes, what is being displayed here is not for younger audiences. There's only one place for it. Kappa. bit of a weird champ. But yeah, interesting. Kazmir going for a hatch first. Hatch gas pool? Really? Oh, okay. Okay. You know what? You gotta respect that, right? Game 1, he went for a big all-in that almost kind of worked. Game 2, time to take a step back. You know, chill out a little bit, take a breather, and play macro. Oh my god, but TriGGeR is he's just got no chill, mate. He wants the drone kill. Oh my god. This is so annoying. And Kazmir refusing to respond and pulling some boys. Finally he goes for it. Oh god. This probe dealing a lot of damage. Kazmir, you gotta respect the probe. Oh my god. What is that? 2 more shots and he can get a kill. TriGGeR playing with fire right now, bullying his opponent. Oh god. And this probe hasn't lost any health. It's disgusting. Finally, the probe will be forced away. The queen is on the way, so are the Lings. So Kazmir, his drones will finally be left alone. Get out of here. And TriGGeR, for the first time, not just this series, but today, is not going for a Stargate opener. He's being much more aggressive here, much more decisive. He is going for a Twilight Council. What will this be for? I'm feeling Glaives. I'm feeling Glaives. You know, both gases have been taken. Should have another gateway being thrown down, or Robo, sorry, I should say, for that War Prism. You yeah, we'll see what exactly TriGGeR has to offer. More importantly, how many gateways are going to be thrown down. There we go. The additional gateways have started. Glaives is on the way. And we could see the typical 4-gate glaive. Or TriGGeR, if he's feeling spicy, could go up to 6. Could go up to 8. And there we go. So far, only 4 gateways in a total. It's what we would typically see in this scenario. Meanwhile, Kazmir hasn't gone in for a scout yet, but there we go. The Overlord is now moving into the main base. We do have a Stalker to try and deny the scout, but so far TriGGeR has not responded, and the Overlord is going in. Same time, Lings are trying to test the waters at the front line. There is no shield battery behind this, so maybe they could bust in, to be honest, if TriGGeR isn't too careful. There we go. Stalker is now finally responding to clear up that Overlord. The Adepts move out. They find the Lings. And, oh my god. With that Warp Prism Micro TriGGeR, he's able to deal with that. And now Kazmir knows what's going on. This Roach Warren is a little bit late. A little bit late. An extra gas is being taken. A lair is on the way. Oh my god. Kazmir, we need army. We need army. We need Lings. Where are the Lings? You need everything you can get, mate. He's got a spine on the way at the 3rd base, but mate, we don't care about the 3rd. We care about the natural. The Adepts are already here. They're going to shade in. Where are the Lings? Kazmir, oh my god. He's thankfully for Kazmir, TriGGeR isn't being too aggressive. He didn't commit to the shade. He's still here at the 3rd base, kind of wasting a lot of time here. He gets a queen though, and he could even get the base itself, but Kazmir bought enough time for roaches to come out. But TriGGeR gave him enough time for roaches to come out. Oh my god. But you know what? The roaches are trickling out and the roaches are going down anyway to the Adepts. There are just not enough of them. And now the Adepts have overwhelmed whatever roaches there were here. The queens are being picked off. This hatchery could still fall as well. It's low from earlier. It's so tempting to go for it, but instead he does commit to the shade, goes into the natural base, will clean up every single Ling here. A couple more are being produced. Is it going to be enough though? As TriGGeR also gets into the main. GG gets called. And TriGGeR with a clean 2-0. GG. Well played. Again, even though it's an opener that got scouted, the Roach Warren was late. Also, Kazmir was being a little bit greedy there. Again, waiting and not spending any of his larva, waiting for his Roach Warren to finish up to make roaches instead of making Lings to begin with. Like, you need army, right? The spine was also at the 3rd base when really he probably could have given up on the 3rd and had it at the natural instead, or no spine at all. There were a couple of different options there, but yeah, Kazmir did not have what he needed and he did go down to 0. And TriGGeR advances on. Advances on to the semi-finals, where he will face the winner of Cham versus Eric.